What's up, y'all? It's Lee.
I'm Jordan.
And this is the Mind Your Business podcast. Join us weekly to learn how to mind your business.
Or at the very least, be able to tell people how to mind theirs, honey.
Drop the beat. So we finna go get us some food.
It feels good. You gotta switch it around, and then you do that.
How you do? I remember. But this is why I love coming to work. So we finna get us some red beans, some gumbo, fried fish, some wings for good motherfucking Friday. I'm sure the Lord didn't appreciate that. Leave it out. So then this is...
No, let me tell you what this
13.
is. This is Mr. B.
How you doing, Mr. B?
What the hell is going on?
What you mean, what's going on?
What's the name?
Telling me
that you're sleeping with another woman.
just because you didn't wear the diamond.
Okay, that's what this is.
That, you know what? That's actually a valid point. Just because you sleeping
Boom.
with somebody don't mean I'm sleeping with them. That's what y'all do.
You know what? I did not see it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can take a little point on my little black card. That's fine.
I sure ain't see it.
But I've had so many years of listening to the Isley Brothers that I ain't need to see them. Because I already know what they was doing, what they was looking like. Somebody told me Ronald was looking like Zaddy. Okay? And so I accept that too. And you know, I'm just here because y'all enjoyed it. Which is why we're here. Which is why we do what we do. We're trying to bring light, love, education to the people. And so we here on episode 13. Or 12.
Whatever. One of them.
Boom. Black Jesus says hello because he is risen. Yeah, he has risen. Okay. What you know about Black Jesus being here?
Baby.
The reason for the season, literally. Anyway. Y'all know
Well, not right there. I know the Lord just up there like...
Yeah. He like, that's my baby. Because he claims me. He may not be claiming some of y'all.
Yeah.
He claims me.
God definitely claims me.
So, girl, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a few days. You're glowing. You out here.
It's the
Glow
foundation.
Up. Oh, okay. Huh?
It's the foundation.
That's the
honey.
Bobby Brown.
No.
You know what? Angela Bassett. So Whitney told me that Angela Bassett wears Bobby Brown foundation.
Yeah.
And you know...
Not Bobby Brown the singer.
No.
Okay. I was trying to make sure that the people know it's not Bobby
And
Brown
you know
the
what?
singer.
That Angela Bassett, she's just great. She is just great to me. She looks good, feels good, sounds good. She just be on point. You know what? Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. She be minding her business. She was in the Tina Turner documentary, and she was everything. And she only had like 2 minutes. But anyway, how was your week?
It was good. It was good. Once again, I don't really remember my week.
Ginkgo biloba.
What's that?
The memory pill. I'm gonna get you some.
Okay. I guess I don't really, let me think. Last week was April Fool's, right? Yeah. Okay. Boom, there's my week. So my week started out very trying. It did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I already didn't feel like going to work because it's getting time for me to take a vacation anyway.
Yeah. How do you know that? How do you know when it's time to take a vacation? Because I was thinking about that. And so it's interesting that you brought it up. How do you know that it's time?
For me, I'm very passionate about my work. So when I start to feel myself being like, whatever, I'm like, woo, that's not normal. That's my red flag. People that don't ever bother me start bothering me. Things that ain't got nothing to do with nobody start bothering me. The carpet coming up is bothering me. Because I genuinely enjoy going to work. Now, I may not enjoy it day to day, but as a whole, I enjoy going. So when I start finding myself as a whole being irritated with the idea of it, I'm like, ooh.
What's going on?
Time to do a reset.
What I was thinking about, I was just like, so for me, it's kind of the general idea that the weekends cannot recharge me. My 2 or 3 days that I'm off, I still do not feel recharged enough to go back into the week, feel amped enough to do whatever it is I'm doing. And even my day-to-day self-care is not enough. At this point, I still feel like I'm a little bit underneath the curve. I'm still moving a little bit slower than usual. And so I was just like, that's interesting, because I really had never really put much thought to it until recently. I was like, I must need a vacation.
Yeah.
I must need just a break from the daily monotony, is what I call it, or the daily grind of, or the same thing over and over, week after week, day after day, because you need something to change it up, to kind of remind you sometimes of what you're grateful for, or some of the things that you miss, or some of the things that you look forward to. If you see it every day, you kind of forget. That's just kind of human nature.
Yeah. And then, you know, too, you gotta keep in mind, for us, there's a lot more that goes into work than just work. Our commute.
Yeah. Ooh.
We have a very long commute to work. And so, you know, 2 hours a day just in the car, or an hour and a half a day just in the car, you know, that's also a stressor.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we work where we work, like it's a jail. Like, no windows, no light, no cell phone. Gotta walk outside. Getting outside is a process. Like, gotta go through 45 million security things just to get, you know, just to get out. So all of that factors in as well.
I had told someone new started at the jail, and I was just like, you know, no, just over the past week. And I was saying, you know, Lee mentioned something when we first started kind of like brainstorming the podcast and what we want to do. She mentioned it's hard to be creative in the jail. And I said you know, how they designed the jail works for exactly the purpose that they wanted to.
Exactly.
Because there is no inspiration. There is no hope. You do feel completely isolated and alone. And I was like, and so for the employees that work in the jail, it's extremely important that you know what it is you need to keep your hope, your inspiration, your tank full, your energy flowing, because if not, you will find yourself feeling exactly like the people that's in there. So
yeah. And so that's kind of how I know it's time for a recharge. Also, when I start not being able to remember things. You know, your girl already got brain fog every day. And so on top of that, when your week starts to become like monotonous and repetitive, and there's
I don't know what happened last week versus this week. Yeah,
it takes, like, I have to start thinking, like, remembering dates and, okay, what did we do that day? And then I can kind of remember what happened after and what happened before, but it's still kind of blurry. But what I do remember is being tried at the jail.
You were trying?
I was trying.
Somebody had the audacity?
Early in the AM, honey.
Ooh.
Early in the AM, I almost said a cuss word.
Yeah.
I'm doing better. So, yeah, that kind of put a blemish on my week. I don't allow anybody to just determine how my week is going to go. But I am human. And things bother me. And so at the beginning of the week, you know, I had a little whatever with a coworker who was out her goddamn mind. It had to come out.
Okay.
But it was like, and it, you know, I just be kind of like, this what we doing.
That's what y'all was doing.
That's what she was doing. That was a lot of energy for her to give me. You know, like I said, that's a lot of energy, and I don't even care if you ever come back to work. That's crazy as hell. But it bothered me, though. It did. It bothered me because me and you saw what happened, and it was what it was. Yeah. But then when you, on the other end, start recruiting people to not speak to me, that's just weird. Like, that whole situation was just weird. And if you can, as a grown person, can be told, oh, well, we're not talking to this person because I'm mad at them. Baby, get your ass home. That's weird. I don't do that. Like, if you got into it with somebody.
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah. And now, you are my friend. So if somebody comes out of the bag and just disrespects you, blah, 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 yeah, I'm probably not going to be too friendly.
Yeah, but we talking about work.
But we talking about work, though. We ain't talking about somebody that's in your personal life, whatever. We talking about work. Like, baby, this work. That's just weird. The whole situation was just weird. So once I got over that little annoyance, after that, I think the week was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really do much up until Friday. We went out. And that was a cool little vibe.
We did go out, huh?
With that expensive food.
I was out there.
With no
in those streets.
Yeah.
It's a little Jennifer.
Yeah.
I'm give some of y'all Jennifer Lewis today.
Okay. All right.
That's where the Black Jesus came from in the beginning. Well, you should read her book. Don't know the name though. So just keep going.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we went out. That was really fun.
Did you really enjoy it, or are you just fronting for the people?
No, because if I didn't enjoy it, I'd be up here like I always have. No, I actually enjoyed it. Of course, there were things that could be better.
Yeah.
And it is a new restaurant. So, they were asking for feedback, and I meant to go do that this weekend, but I forgot. But I'll do it probably tomorrow. But, it was just nice being able to be out.
We was out there.
Yeah, be amongst, we was kind of the only people in there for the longest.
Yeah.
But still, just being able to be amongst people, being able to be back in that, a scene that's familiar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because for this past year, we've been in the house.
Yeah.
And I am enjoying being outside when I want to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Still taking whatever precautions are in place, but being outside.
I enjoyed it. It was a nice ambiance. They decorated wonderfully. It was beautiful. It was by the turkey dam. My only thing was, and so I need to figure out, like, after work, what is my vibe that I'm feeling? Because I think I wanted something a little ratchet.
I did too.
I think I wanted to kind of turn up a bit in a very dirty way. And we was classy. It was live music. And so I think that was my only thing, is I was probably wanting a good turn up with a little twerking, but I really just got
but we was the only ones there too.
True.
And that determines
the
vibe of the place.
But I sent you the thing on Instagram, like they had a video of what it turned into that night.
And it was lit.
They were playing bounce. And so I would have been all up there on the floor. And so maybe we just was early. But
now we know to go later.
Yeah, but then I'd be like, what do people do when it start later, but they get off of work earlier?
Go home and come back out.
See, that's a trap for me.
Yeah.
Because, you send me home, and I had the best intentions, but then I end up asleep. And then you be like, I'm here, and I'd be like, oh.
Well, normally, though, you don't work on that day.
On Friday?
Yeah, you don't work on Friday. You just work that Friday.
That is true.
That's also a thing. Whereas in your drive is longer. So you would be able to be at home. Whereas for me, it's nothing for me to leave, go home, take me a little quick little nap, shower, get my face together, and we out here. So I think next time we'll just go later. We were anticipating a lot more early on.
Yeah.
But that was fun. It was nice being out there in them streets. And being in Dallas,
some little black luxury.
Normalized black luxury. I feel like I have to say it. Normalized black luxury. So
what does that even mean? Is that a t-shirt?
It could be. I mean, to me, normalized black luxury is normalizing the things that you consider, for a lack of better words, white people things. Fancy dining, chandeliers, which may sound stupid.
Oat milk.
Oh, okay. Oat milk.
Okay.
But
I ain't drinking no oat milk, but I mean,
I'm not.
if we consider it luxury, I might give it a try in a little wine glass.
But yeah, just those things that were not traditionally afforded to us because we were not allowed in the space. We did not have. Because we did not have a way to afford them on a large scale. And so now those things are afford it to us. We're able to go out to fancy restaurants. We're able to, eat high value food and be in these luxurious places, travel, do all of these things. And I think sometimes we're looked down on it when we do it. These are things that we aspire to be able to do, but then when we do them, we're looked down on for being bougie. I ain't paying $80, $90 for a plate of food, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, that's fine. That's not what you're going to do, but I am.
Because I want the vibe.
Exactly.
I'm always about the vibe.
And I'm not going to feel bad about it. Because just like everybody else can go do these things and you think that they're fancy when they do them, okay, well, I'm fancy when I do them too.
Yeah.
You feel how you feel. So,
I'm about to say, I'm the first one to scream on the track.
I ain't know no more words.
Me neither. That's why you just gotta stop.
That's why I just... So yeah, that was pretty much my week. I really didn't have nothing going on. We had a conversation with a friend where we talked about being in a friendship where you're like polar opposites. And how do you make the friendship work? And that could go for any kind of like romantic relationship, friendship, cousins, I don't know, brother, sister. But how do you feel comfortable in yourself when you're polar opposites with the person that you're with? And for the conversation we were having, our friend was saying that she has a friend who's always like jumping jazz and like always dressed, always the hair, the makeup, the outfit, no matter what. And she was like, that's just not me. And I was like, that's the thing. Because if you say, hey, let's go grab something to eat, and I'm coming out with my Fashion Nova leggings and my pink t-shirt. Yeah. And then you bust out the house.
Ball gown.
Yeah. With
crown.
Red bottoms on.
37 inches ready.
Yeah. That's a thing. Like, because now, one, we look kind of mismatched. And two, I may feel out of place. Or you may feel out of place. It just, it depends on the dynamic. And we brought up how on the podcast, Jordan always has on some sort of ensemble. And I'm like, baby, I showed up. I mean, clearly, my hair tied up, my hair wet. I washed my hair today.
True.
And I think I washed my hair. My week starts tomorrow. Like, the podcast's not gonna stop what I gotta do. I gotta look presentable for work tomorrow. Cause I'll be on the news again or something.
True.
So, yeah. So, what we told her was, I was like, well, it comes with being comfortable with self. I don't care what Jordan got on over here. I'm gonna be comfortable wearing what I'm gonna wear. Y'all lucky I give y'all a little eyebrow, a little lash, low key. Cause look, I could just show up. But that's me. I'm comfortable. Like, I'm dressed up throughout the week for work. This is still my off day. I'm going to be comfortable. Now, maybe when I don't have to work the rest of the week, then that'll look a little different for me. But right now, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like the dress you fried chicken in the summertime in a turban.
With the paw marks, they scratched the chest.
And yeah. And so, that was just kind of a little highlight thought of my week. But yeah, that was about it.
Okay. And so, like, with that, like, I just feel as long as I don't have to change my vibe to meet yours, we good.
Exactly.
Like, we may not have everything in common. You may have 3 kids and I may have 0. You may have 1 dog and I got 5. You may not have no husband and I got 17. Ooh. But, like, we don't have to have that in common to be cool.
Exactly.
What I'm more concerned with is your general vibe. Are you more of an optimistic or a pessimistic person? If I call you, are you going to judge me or not? Like, how much criticism are you coming with? Because generally speaking, I ain't trying to have all criticism in my circle. I want all love. Now, you can tell me something, but it doesn't have to come across as judgment.
Yeah.
But, and so that's a whole different thing. But, my vibe should always be somewhat similar to yours. And even on your sad days, I get it. You sad. You don't have to meet me where I at. I'm over here flying on clouds, talking about going to the Dominican Republic, riding with the elephants, swimming in the water with the pigs that be swimming. I don't know if they there, but I'm thinking about it, okay? But as long as we can vibe, the rest is downhill. I don't care about what you wear. I don't care about what you look like. I don't care about the accessories that you got, because I'm finally getting to a point to where I realize I'm extra.
And that's the thing.
Not everybody's me. And that makes me think about the Jackson girl. Y'all want the Miss Jackson
Why
lady?
was I just thinking that?
Yeah. Y'all want Miss Jackson to be bundled down, nails popping, eyelashes fluttering, and hey, that's the type of girl that I go for. That's just me. That's just who I am attracted to. That's who I like to be around. Give me all of this, honey. Give me more. But every girl is not like that. And that's fine. Stop,
And in this day and age, we have a thing where it's expected that women should be this Barbie.
Y'all trying to make this standard.
Because
of
Instagram,
standard.
People don't look like that. People who gotta go to work don't look like that 24/7.
Ain't got the time.
Baby, can't go to work with all that on.
Boom.
Some jobs say you can't have eyelashes way out to here and nails out to here, and you can't wear this color eyeshadow, and you can't come in with 35 inches of hair. Like, that's the thing.
You gotta put a sweater on,
honey, and the pants need to be loosened up a little bit. But these are all things.
Yeah. So that's my thing. It's like, and maybe it's a lesson that we all have to learn in time.
In time, yeah.
On our own accord, but it comes with a certain maturity, because you get to the point to where you be like, you know what, you can do whatever you want in your lane because I'm in mine.
Because I'm in mine.
And we doing just fine.
And you want to know a perfect example of that I feel like most girls can relate to?
What?
Bitch, we were, oh shit. Oh God.
It's all right. God.
When you going out, we wearing heels or no? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I know me, I don't like to wear heels. One, I'm heavy. My feet get to hurting. I'm out here in 5-6 inch heels, walking, especially when you live in a big city like this. You walk in 2-3 blocks to get to the club.
Concrete.
On concrete.
Grass.
On rocks.
Can't see.
I got lupus. I got arthritis. I can't see. I can't feel my feet. Then we're in the party, and
standing up.
Yeah, standing up. I mean, come on now. And so, like, a lot of times I'll be like, I don't want to wear heels. Not them kind of heels. I might hit you with a booty or something, but for the most
platform.
Some to give me a little arch support. But some people, they gonna wear heels regardless, and they gonna do it to the best of them. I don't feel one way or another, because these people still gonna look at me and try to holler at me with my flats on, with my platform on, with my boots on, whatever I have on. So that's the thing. Also, being a plus size girl, I ain't out here in no crop tops. If you plus size and you out here in a crop top, by all means, baby, do it. I'm not. That's me. And all of my friends, I don't really have, like, in my close-knit circle of people, I don't really have any plus size friends, like from Louisiana and stuff like that. I was the plus size girl. They come out with that little stomach showing, baby, pull it up some more, show them a little bit more stomach.
Yeah.
I don't feel no way
Give
about
them
it.
some underboob.
I don't feel no way about it, because I'm secure in myself, and I know that whatever I decide to put on, I'm gonna look good in it as well.
Popping.
But that's a you're secure with yourself thing. So you have to find it within yourself that it don't really matter what you look like, as long as I'm comfortable with what I'm looking like and you don't care. Next.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess my last thing was, like, you got to know your tribe too, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so a lot of the friends that we have, they may have been fine in high school, we in college. They might have been fine in college, we done graduated from college. They might have been fine at this job, but guess what? We done left this job. Like, you change just as well as your tribe changes with your life changes. Like, everything happens in stages. And so we have to be able to better adapt. And, some people will change with the seasons. Yeah. Some people won't. And you got to be able to discern who are those people and be like, okay, B, we on the bus. We headed to the next destination. Oh, all right, friend, I'll see you at the next stop a few years down the line. Or we'll check in on Facebook or Instagram. Because not everybody's meant to be those close friends that you once were.
Right.
It changes. It flows. So you got to know. You got to kind of be able to, figure that out. So it's a lot to it, but it ain't rocket science.
Yeah, and it ain't nothing to really stress over either.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be what it's going to be regardless.
And the more you fight it, the more and more it's going to happen anyway. So you just kind of got to learn how to go with the flow with some of this. So if the flow is, oh, we don't really hang out well,
that's the
there
flow.
you go.
Hello.
That's probably your answer right there.
Moving on.
So my week.
Your week.
Oh, Brandy notebook. So I ain't do my usual because I usually be having like bullet points and some arrows and stuff, and then I do like some like little details and stuff. I really try to make it look nice because when I want to go back and be like, oh, this is when we first started, it has like more details. But y'all don't see any of that anyway. My week, Friday fun day. It was a thing. Had a good time. Wanted to be a little ratchet, but whatever. I had a good time. I got to figure out what to wear on Friday fun day. But if I'm not working, then that makes it a little easier because me having to go to work and then get to a place after work is weird. Because I don't even like collared shirts, but I wear a collared shirt to work. Stuff like that. So I think it's a little different for us free-formed males. What else we got? Let's see. So a lot of y'all watching the George Floyd thing. I kind of heard about it in the middle of the week, and I was like, do I really want to watch it? And I decided it just wasn't good for me. Like, in my head, my truth, I know what happened. I don't have to see it. I know how sensitive I am to seeing violence play out in front of me.
Yeah.
Especially, it was pretty blatant. It was just pretty out there. It was pretty, like, I just, there was nothing hidden about it. There was nothing hidden about it. And so I just don't have to watch it. But, if y'all guys are watching it, I think that's good to stay informed. But you have to know how this is affecting you. You have to know how this is affecting your children. You have to know how this is affecting the person who just happens to walk by and see it on the television. There is a such thing as secondary trauma. Or vicarious trauma is the technical term, because you see it and you feel the same emotions and the same feelings. And so I think a lot of what we hear coming up is about people saying, you know what, it's been hard to watch. It's been really emotional. I've had a really hard week. And if you realize that it's just too much for you to watch, that's okay. You can go read highlights. Like Lee, she read all the highlights of the movies. She even watched the highlight, read the highlight of the pajama.
The boy in striped
and she felt it then.
I'm not finna watch it.
She was sad then. I said, oh, I ain't say nothing then, friend. But I was like, oh, she said, that's so sad. I said, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not finna let it completely in. Like, I want to know what happened.
Right.
But I don't need to watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too much. And then you wondering why you feel off the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's me. If I watch something like that, I feel shaky. I'm hyper vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm iffy about people walking up on me. I'm weird about going to the grocery store. I'm looking at people funny, like, so I don't do that.
Just, stuff like that came up for sure. What else? I had Friends Day Wednesday. We went to a restaurant. Y'all should be able to see it soon, but I didn't have my Friday.
Where did we go?
We went to Becky's R&R.
Maggie's R&R.
Get them, Black Jesus.
Yeah, we went to Maggie's. That's right.
Yeah, so, we'll be letting you see that. Because I think we're foodies, y'all.
We are foodies.
I think we enjoy a lot of, we like to dance. And so I think we are dancers, but I think we want good food first.
Yeah.
And then we want to dance after. And so we can find a restaurant that has amazing food and then a ratchet turn up after, we'll be in heaven.
During daylight hours? We gotta go to work.
Yeah.
And this is on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And Fridays. If we can find one for Wednesday and Friday, it would be perfect. So that's a thing. What else? I didn't really have. Okay, so Easter was this weekend. I cried like a baby. Oh, I boo-hooed. And then I texted my mom and my sister, I love and miss y'all. She called me, and then I really cried. Ugly face cried. Howling cried. Bay over there looking at me like, should I pull over? Cried. It was bad. But so holidays are just different for me because I don't have my grandmother. And without my grandmother, I feel empty at times, and she represents so much for me on the holidays. Like Easter, she would have been walking around with a turban on, some hoop earrings, her ankles jangling, red
She wore
nail.
anklets?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Red nail polish. She was real high yellow, so she would have had her blush on. And you know, she's that extra. She's where I get my extra from.
Yeah.
And she's frying fish, and she's drinking a beer, like sitting on her porch with her fan, that white fan that's loud and buzzing in the background, getting on your nerves. She got the fan going. It's home. It's when I think of home, when I think of Bowman, I think about her. I think about the North Side. I think about the hood. I think about the community that comes along with.
Yeah.
And so it's all good that, I done did good and I moved to a different place and got a bigger house and blah, 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 blah. But there's nothing like home.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. And so I played Johnny Taylor. I listened to Bojack and his Zydeco band. I listened to Zydeco all day. Listen to some blues, and it just reminds me of home. The crawfish, the fried fish, the fried foods. It's all home, and I missed it. I missed it this weekend, and I cried. So, but somebody asked me what did I do to work through it? I was like, well, sometimes it don't take journaling and talking to a therapist and processing it with everybody to work through it. Sometimes you just have to know, oh, this is just a moment, and it will pass.
Yeah.
So that was my weekend. Sunday was eventful. Family members doing family member things. Some arguing, maybe a little cutting, or some threatening to cut. And I was just trying to keep my vibe sane. But it all comes with it. It all comes with the territory. Some families go there, some don't.
Yeah.
Keep your vibe no matter what.
That's the important part.
Yeah,
Maintain self.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Keep your vibe. And see, I'm working on that because I will step out of self. And I will be ready to fight. And so I'm working on that. Okay? Work in progress. Work in progress. Because once I feel threatened, it'd be like red flags. It'd be high alert. I ain't sitting down. I'm ready. Until I can leave, usually it takes me having to leave the space because the threat is there. And so we'll work on that.
But I think we should talk about, like you said earlier, working through holidays without our loved ones.
Yeah.
Especially after the year that we've had, where a lot of people have lost people that, for a lack of better words, wasn't necessarily supposed to die. Yeah. And I said, don't come on here talking about, well, when it's God time, because I don't care. I said what I said. COVID came through, ran through. A lot. I know people that lost 8 and 10 family members.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then you're losing them in a short amount of time. So the holidays, these holidays are the first time for a lot of people that they're going through without people, or losing them is still very fresh. I know we talked about this earlier, in the first or second podcast episode, because we started during the Christmas season.
Right.
But people think about those holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, but to me, all holidays, because people have different traditions with their families. 4th of July, maybe Halloween, depending on who you lost and what the significance of Halloween is for you. Just all the holidays, because I think especially as Black and brown people, we're very community centered.
Yeah. We don't have much else, but we have family.
And we're going to go over there, we're going to play spades, we're going to holler. Girl. So when those things start to go missing, or I can't go around grandma because COVID and, blah, 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 That's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's a big stressor.
For me, I create memorials. I create, like, so when you first come into my house, I have a wall with the pictures of kind of what I would consider the matriarchs of our family. So the families, the head of the family for us that we've lost. And so my grandmother's on that wall. I like candles. There's like kind of like a row of candles, and I like those when I want to feel closer to them. Music that they listen to. Aunt Money loved Tevin Campbell. And so I'll play Tevin Campbell. That's Bae's aunt. And then for, like the Zydeco that I brought up, I'll play that. I even have a grieving playlist. It even has the Circle of Life. Because you know what?
From Lion King?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it's the original, it's the play version of it. Because there's just so much that you can learn from that song. It's a very short song. Yeah. But it really is just the cycle of life. It's the cycle of grieving. It's the cycle of something new coming into your life, taking root, growing, teaching you whatever it's meant to teach you, and then it's slowly fading into the dust. Yeah. It going away. That is the cycle of everything that we come into. And so for me, it's understanding grief, what it means, the cycle, and then creating some kind of way to create those memories. So,
yeah.
What about you?
What about me?
What about you? How do you remember? How do you deal with?
Oh,
I
had a moment, y'all.
Yeah, she did.
I had a moment.
Okay, she not here.
Well, in my lifetime, I've lost 2 family members, and I think that's a lot less than what a lot of people could say. I have a very small family. So that could also be why. Well, my mom's family, I don't really talk to or know my dad's family like that. So my mom's family is very small, tight-knit. And so we've really only had like 2 deaths of people that are there and present. And so, and they weren't matriarchs. I feel like that's also important to say. They weren't matriarchs. And so for me, I think dealing has been a little bit easier. I probably haven't had to deal like most people, but I think this past year with COVID, I was not able to be with my family. I'm used to every holiday we together.
Yeah, because and that's what I thought you was going to do for Easter. That's why I was like, no, nothing. And you're just like, no.
And I think for me, I take my bright spots where I find them. Like yesterday, this was kind of a somber Easter. I mean, nothing bad is happening, but we're getting ready to move out of our house. Cade is going back to Oklahoma.
Don't leave me, Cade. Sorry.
That's exactly how I feel. And that's sad. And I was, when I was cooking yesterday, I was like, oh my God, this is our last holiday. And it was my brother's birthday. It was his birthday. And so like we were like singing happy birthday, and I felt myself getting teary-eyed, but then I was like, this day was gonna come eventually. Whether it was somebody got married, moved out, somebody just decided they want to move out, whatever, don't let it keep you down. So for me, I find my bright spots and I cling to them because I need them. Sadness is inevitable. We're gonna grieve different things. And that's where I pull my bright spots out my bag. What I'm thankful for, the funny things, the memories. And that's just kind of how I keep going. Like I said, I personally, when it comes to family, losing family, or having like really sad events, I don't have that issue with holidays. That really hasn't been my thing. I know that day will come, and I'll navigate it then.
Yeah.
But just as far as just not being able to be around family with the COVID season and all that, just knowing that they're safe. I call them, get pictures, that kind of thing. My mom actually sent me a picture of my great aunt with her new puppy. Aww. And that just warmed my heart. And I'm like, when I really missed her this Easter, and I'm just like, well, she over there with her puppy. So, that's what makes me happy. She's safe. My family is still here, so it's temporary. It's temporary for that situation.
For now.
For now.
For now.
So yeah.
So yeah, I think that was all my week. Oh, at least the big things from my week.
Yeah, last week was kind of.
Yeah, like I am planning a vacation. So if you guys want to travel with us, you definitely can. Maybe.
Hold up now. Hold up.
Because I'm just saying, we're going to be out there in the world, and we invite you guys to explore the world.
But you got to stay with your own people, honey. You can't come stay over there with us.
Yeah. And so, like, I encourage everybody to travel. Get out now.
While you can.
Get some different cultural experiences underneath your belt. See some things grow, expand, stretch. You never know what you need until you go and see something else, and then you be like, oh, this is what I was missing.
Yeah.
And so I am looking forward to like getting a trip underneath our belt. With just to have a good time.
If nothing else.
Away from my worries. And so yeah, between me planning trips all over the place and going day to day, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
So, who minded their business this week for you? She gonna say Jennifer Lewis because her book was amazing. She's gonna say, who else I brought up earlier today? I don't remember anymore. But yeah.
You know.
Cher was minding her business.
Cher was minding her business, and when minding your business goes wrong.
I think she did good.
I think she did too. But sometimes, even doing the right things comes with bull.
Yeah.
Cher tweeted, I guess, or Facebooked it, I don't know. And said that she was watching the George Floyd trial, and she was talking to her mother, I guess, on the phone or something, and she said, like, I just was having.
Gotta be old.
It's hell, honey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I let it go.
Okay.
Cause that's a blessing.
I'd be like, Mama.
Cause Cher old.
How you old on the phone? Okay.
Baby. And she was basically saying how she had guilt, and she just had that overwhelming feeling of, I wish I was there. I wish I could have been there. And I don't know what happened, but baby, the streets was mad at Cher.
The peoples was upset.
Yeah. And I just don't feel like that was anything to be upset about. These are things that you want people to empathize and be proactive about. And to be fair, y'all, there's nothing she can do. There's nothing that any of us can do in the sense of going back in the past and doing anything. She was just saying, I wish that, I had that feeling of, I wish I could be there. I could have been there and done something. I had the same feeling. Jordan, did you have that feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we all have these feelings anytime something traumatic comes about. Like, I just wish I could have done something. I know that there's nothing personally I could have done, but that's how she felt. So the people was mad and hooping and hollering. And you know what? I didn't even read the negativity, because this is literally what y'all be asking people to do. Asking them to empathize, and then when they do it, you shut them down. Which
for me is scary, because so I'm thinking about this in terms of guilt and shame and the differences between the two. Guilt is, I feel bad about the situation. Shame is, I am a bad person that then caused the bad situation. And so with them expressing guilt, I'm like, that's great. That's fine. We can work through that. There's a healthy way for us to do that. If we try to shame people, then that makes them feel as if they have to hide it, because that says, no, I am a bad person. I should be ridiculed. I should be blah, 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 blah. And then we can't even have the discussions, because nobody brings it up. Nobody says how they feel. And so, I don't want to shame anybody.
Right.
I'm trying to talk about it. Especially if the table is open, especially if the person is someone like Cher who is wanting to openly have the conversation.
So here's the thing. Because I looked it up because I want to see exactly what the tweet said, okay? Mm-hmm. So she said, Mom, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I kept thinking maybe if I'd been there, I could have helped. The issue people were having was the white savior complex. Now, that is a thing that I understand very, very well. But I don't feel like she had a white savior complex. I don't think her wanting to help stemmed from her being white. I think it stemmed from her being human. So when I was reading what people said, one lady, I'm assuming she's a white woman because she said we as white women just need to be careful that we don't make ourselves the star of the story. I'm sure you didn't intend that, but it can come across that way. Baby, this has been a story for a year.
Yeah,
we on the trial now, honey. She not the star.
I don't agree.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You're minimizing.
Mm-hmm.
You're minimizing. And so,
Cher, keep minding your business. But no, and we talk about this a lot, that when you put yourself on Instagram, when you say whatever you have to say, some people are going to take it good, some people are going to take it bad, but you can guarantee that everybody's going to take it either way they want to.
Which is why she responded with, you don't know what I've done, who I am, or what I believe. I have and I will, help. So then she said, I've wrestled with this tweet because I thought some people wouldn't understand or believe an entertainer could have honest emotions about a human being suffering, dying, even if it's only shown on TV. You don't know what I've done, who I am, or what I can, or what I believe, help, blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to quote that. I'm going to put that somewhere.
And so she ended up saying, I'm truly sorry if I've upset anybody. And, to be fair, I know she was just like, y'all are annoying. Now, she didn't say that. But that's probably how she felt because nothing in that was a white savior complex to me. It was a genuine, honest reaction that we all had. You want people to have that reaction of, I wish I could have helped. I wish I could have done better. Then they tell you, and now you mad that that's how they felt, and now they're trying to make themselves the star of the story. But you be asking these same white and non-black celebrities to have a voice, to have a platform. I could see if she would have worded something questionable because Cher has always been an ally. Keep in mind, I just saw Cher 74. Cher been around since she was like 20. So Cher been around forever. She's also a half person of color. I think her dad is Lebanese, I believe. I guess, yeah, I think that's what it was. Cher been around forever. Cher has always stood up for what she stood up for and what she felt was right and what she felt was wrong. And so I just feel like this missed the mark. I feel like it was hypervigilant.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hypervigilant response. And I also felt like it was just kind of wanting to attack.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to attack somebody. You probably need to do that on people that it warrants. So.
Or go attack a punching bag. Go write a book.
Yeah. And when I say attack, I don't mean physically harm. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes we just want to get it out. And that wasn't the way to do it.
You can do slam poetry too.
You can go kickbox. You can run. I don't know. Do whatever works for you, but that wasn't it. So Cher.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Cher. Well, how do you feel about DMX?
It's very sad.
Yeah.
DMX has been very forthcoming and honest with some of the things that he struggles with. And it's been a long struggle. And I'll say this, substances and substance abuse is a powerful demon.
Come on.
And when I say demon, you take that however you want to take, because I'm not going to argue with y'all on here. It's a powerful demon. It's something that has a hold on you. And even once you get that hold off, it's something that you have to work to maintain.
Every day.
Every day.
All day. Constantly.
Yeah. Especially when you have access to it. When you have access to it, and he's a celebrity, he has more money than the rest of us probably. There are people around, in the industry, they openly just be doing stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, it used to be like taboo. You didn't tell people you did it. Now it's a thing. Like, who can do the most off somebody's ass cheeks? It's crazy. So at first the reports was saying, he had the heart attack and blah, 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 and that he had come out of it.
Yeah.
And then it came out that no, he had not. And they're saying now that he is in a vegetative state.
Yeah, it just breaks my heart. And then I think what makes it even worse, because it's already heartbreaking when someone that you're fond of is going through something so big, so large. But then the public's response, and I'm going to say the public's response is ignorant.
Yeah.
Meaning not knowing of substance abuse and the success rate of individuals who attend a rehabilitation center program, no matter what the cost is. It's an extremely hard diagnosis to fight. It's an everyday battle. And it's not just stop. You change your entire personality and lifestyle, where you stay, who you talk to, what you do, and everything the triggers are still there for the substance use.
Not to mention your chemical makeup.
Correct. And so it's such if any disorder is a fully holistic thing that really takes over a body, it's substance abuse. Because it's confounded with so many different things. And it's way much more complicated than people are making it out to be. I just wish that when they discussed it, when they talked about it, when they tweeted about it, it wasn't he too old for this. He's still using.
Right.
Like, that ain't the way to go.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I was trying, somebody, and I thought I saved it, had made a very good point. I don't really remember what it says, because in my head I was like, I want my initial reaction to be on camera, and I guess I didn't save it. So there's that.
I think it was is it the one that said Easter will never be the same without Payless? Because that is
no, friend.
Okay.
That was not it. It was about DMX.
Okay. Because Payless did have good Easter shoes.
They did. And how he, well, dang it. It was with his story, and I hate misquoting. I hate misquoting. But they were talking about, I guess he had done an interview or something, and was saying that he was exposed to these heavy substances very early on. I may be wrong, but I think it said that somebody laced his blunt. And that's all it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally all it takes. Some substances, it only takes one time and you hooked. Some people can do them their whole life and they will never develop an addiction. It just depends. We're all different. Some of us drink and will never be addicted. Some of us drink and will forever fight that addiction. But rewrites the way that your neurons interact in your entire brain to seek the pleasure of this over whatever you were conditioned to prior to. And I remember when I was in high school in my little criminal justice class for my little magnet thing, and I don't think we really ever learned anything in there, but we learned a lot. Well, not about like what we're supposed to be learning. We learned a lot of life lessons, and my teacher, his name was Coach Nunley. I am so fond of him. I remember him saying, you see all these people out here, and on Shreveport, you can find, people addicted to drugs on every corner. Like, it's easy to find them. He was like, you see all these people out here, I don't want y'all to ever think that y'all can pick up a substance and beat it. because they thought the same thing. And y'all, that is something I have carried with me my whole life. Now, to be fair, I've never wanted to do a substance like, you know, like your opiates or anything like that. I've never wanted to for my own personal, but there was times where I, especially like in college, had the chance to.
Yeah.
I was asked to. And I look at those people who offered it to me. And I look at them now because we're still friends on Facebook, and just very in and out the hospital, in and out of jail. And not that everybody's life follows that path, but that for me is what kept me. But everybody does not have that.
Yeah.
Some people are dealing with traumas and they need to drown the traumas out. Some people are dealing with mental illness and they need to drown the mental illness out. And that's what I teach to the officers at our jail. You know, everything is not black and white.
No.
Do you think somebody would pick up a substance if they could see themselves 20 years in the future? Do you think if they saw themselves and they were bad off that they would still pick it up? Probably not, but you don't know that. You think everything is different when it comes to you. And unfortunately, that is just a difficult and very uphill battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad. I think all of us know somebody who has been affected, whether it's a family member, friend, you know, somebody that you knew from high school, whatever. We all know somebody who is not themselves anymore or no longer here. I know I do. So, It's just sad.
It's just those rainy days when one time trying to wash away. Smile, smile for me, smile for me.
I don't ever know the words. I know how to hum it though.
Yeah, we.
I know how to hum it, honey. That's what I do.
Verbatim words.
Yeah, I be knowing what the gist of what the sentence was supposed to say. So yeah, so we had something now. Saweetie and Quavo in the elevator.
Oh.
Yeah, so we didn't touch on it last week because we forgot.
Yeah, we almost forgot this week.
Almost, honey. 'Cause I was like, we'll see y'all next week. But yeah, so there was the video of Saweetie and Quavo tussling in the elevator.
I seen somebody who, I guess he was a part of the Migos. He was like, it was just a bag. And then I seen somebody in the comments of the video that said he didn't even touch her. He just touched the bag. If that makes anybody feel better.
You know, my takeaway, because I don't know who swung first, what was in the bag. Baby, what was in the bag? Let me know. What was in the bag? I don't know what the context was. Some people said it looked like she was finna, pop off on somebody else and he was pulling her away. I don't know. But I will say this. When I was reading through the Shade Room comments, honey, it was so many people who normalized the behavior as a whole. And that's what was disturbing to me. Baby, don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. And
that's what my question was going to be to everybody is, at what point do you justify slanging somebody in the elevator?
Correct.
Because that's a very slippery slope for me.
Honey, if you're not pulling me out of danger's way.
And the way she sat there and did that church rock.
She did.
Her soul was hurt.
If only it had sound. Don't touch me. That's my biggest thing. I have had quite a few, because y'all know I ain't really afraid to tell y'all what y'all gonna do with it. I've had quite a few domestic violence incidences. There are very common in the LGBT community. Just because you're dating the same sex or gender, whatever, you're dating somebody that you do not have those conditioned societal anti-norms against. So you two females, you would fight another female on the street, you're gonna fight this one, and so I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like it. And, my biggest thing was how many people were just like, they was just tussling. He didn't hit her. He didn't close fist hit her. My thing is just tussling is dangerous too, because you beat and pulled her and she catch her head on the corner or something. Mm-hmm. You push him, he fell back and hit something, he didn't got impaled. These are things that happen. People will be tussling with somebody, they head hit something. They don't ever get up or they don't ever be the same. 1 to 2.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So don't touch me at all. Let's just eliminate that. Let's just eliminate it at all. So it just makes me wonder, how are we so comfortable with, as long as you don't close fist hit me.
Yeah.
But you can put your hands on me, drag me, sling me around. Oh, no, man. And whoever was at fault, because once again, I'm not going to automatically assume that Quavo was affected. I don't know. I was not there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But when it gets to the point, quite frankly, if it gets to the point that I got to start pulling you and slinging you around to keep you from doing dumb shit, I don't even want to be there.
Yeah. And so my point is, behavior is not isolated. Like, we would like to think that people just do these things at this one time. It was just a extra.
One-time thing.
Yeah, but no, behavior is not isolated. You can watch somebody's behavior and you can tell that this is something that has happened before, that is in them.
There's no shock.
And so if I'm looking at this on this one occasion, I may give you a 10% odds that, okay, this was this one time that this happened. But generally speaking, since behavior is not isolated, it may have happened in a different way, at a different time, in a different occurrence. Maybe it wasn't a sling. Maybe it could have been a push. Maybe it could have been a nudge. Like behavior, we just are not people that just do things randomly out of the blue. Usually we have habits that has developed over time, has become a part of our personality and our character. And build up. Has become a really big core value in our emotions. That anger, what I do when I'm angry is I may slam this, or I may throw this, or I may do that. And so it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's the part that we can see. Mm-hmm. We don't know what we didn't see. And so that's what's scary for me, is what we didn't see. And we won't ever know. I hope that they continue. I mean, because it's something that they should work through on their individual time frame. Nobody should pry into their information just to know for no sake. Like, that's not ethical. But I feel like there's something there. Even if it's just that one incident, what did that one incident bring up? Because you slanging me in an elevator in public, threw me on the floor, and I'm crying. That's traumatic for me.
And I don't want to live my life wondering when is the next time.
Gonna happen.
That's my biggest thing. Did we talk about this last week, Frank? Because I think I remember saying something about, I was watching TV one time and Creflo Dollar came on there talking about before you decide to lay down and be with somebody, blah, blah, blah. And he was like...
Oh, ask the question?
Ask the questions.
What questions was it, though?
It started out kind of funny, but it had a lot of good points, like, all kinds of things. Do you take a bath daily, blah, 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 blah. What do you do when you get mad? Do you hit things? Do you hit people? And I'm like...
I do remember that, but maybe that has something
that's the thing. And for me, I'm very sensitive to any kind of violence. If you get mad at me and you pick up a plate and throw it in, even if you don't throw it in my direction, for me, I take that as you'll eventually hit me. What if you miscalculate and you do throw something and maybe you didn't mean to throw it at me, but it hits me upside my head? Don't grab on me. If I'm trying to walk away, do not grab me. Let me walk away. When I'm ready to talk, I'll come back. If I'm never ready to talk, I guess I won't be back. I don't know. But don't grab me. Don't push me. Don't put your finger in my face. All of those are things that if you keep doing them, they will build. And next thing you know, we're tussling. And I'm one of those people, if I see your hand coming towards me and we are angry, I assume you are finna punch me and I'm finna start fighting. Mm-hmm. Even if that's not what you was trying to do, that's what I assume. So when I'm angry with people, I give them space. I tend to do this little number right here, especially at work. That was so... I am saying that. Yeah. But that's me. Like, I do this so that nothing gets misconstrued. You don't think I'm finna do nothing. So that whole incident was just very... And their responses was just kind of like, It happened. We're not addressing it. And you don't have to because you're in the public and that's your private business.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. But I just don't want people to think
that
this is the norm. And this
systematically speaking, not taking this back to slavery, but we are more prone to violence. Prone to interact with it, engage with it, and unfortunately, use it on our children.
Yeah. Because violence was used to control us on every
We've been
level.
conditioned to think that the physical will eradicate the problem, correct it, and allow things to be better, relieve aggression, etc., blah, 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 blah. That's what we've been taught. And so, it's not okay, y'all. We know it's not okay. And
if you're in a situation where, you don't feel safe, seek help. Your local hospitals and doctors' offices often have different resources and pamphlets and stuff like that. I don't want to say any one place because I don't want to feel like we're, endorsing or anything like that. But your local hospitals and doctors' offices, there's often different phone numbers that you can call. Like, I think one of them, that's sexual assault. But you can probably call them because it all is under the same umbrella, RAIN. It either has 2 A's or 2 N's. I don't remember. But definitely seek help if you don't feel safe. Because you're not the only one that deals with it, I promise you.
And we do have our first reader thing to talk about, but we're going to talk about it on the next episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. People interacting with us. We pretty much worldwide at this point. So, yeah.
Like, share, comment if you're digging us, if we're your vibe.
Also, one of my friends pointed this out. Disclaimer: we are not your therapists.
No.
So everything expressed in this podcast is our personal conversation that we are having publicly. If you need a therapist, please seek you a therapist that's licensed and qualified in your state to practice. Find one that works for you. But please understand, we are not your therapist. We are not telling you what you should or should not do.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put that out there because we don't want anybody to be like, oh, but this is what Lee and Jordan told me to do. No, it ain't. Yon.
All right.
That will be on every podcast. It needs to be on every single one. I found that out. So that will be on every single podcast from here on out. We'll record it. Okay. Love y'all.
Bye.
Have a good week.
I did the one eye pause because I closed it. It's a wink. Even though I really don't know how to wink.
Yeah, when I wink, it don't be sexy.
Oh.
Like, it's one of those things, it has to happen in the moment and I'm not thinking about it. Like, I'm walking past somebody in the club and I hit them with a little wink. But if I think like, oh, I'm going to walk past them and wink, it's going to be ugly.
Oh, Lord.